Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, I'm James IZ and I'm back yet with another Wes Watson video. This time, this man got his mommy on his channel here to explain his past by using his own mom and everything. But before I get into that, if you don't know who Wes Watson is, he's like this alpha male guru who went to prison for a certain amount of time and then made it his whole personality on the internet. He sells courses. He puts down people who can't afford like what, a $20,000 course from Wes Watson here, because apparently he can give you all the answers and the secrets to the universe to get money and fame. He gets on camera, he yells and screams into the camera, he says the right words to the demographic of men out there. They end up, you know, shilling out a ton of cash to him just for him to tell them to start making videos and to start uploading consistently on the internet to sell their own courses and programs too. That teaches people on how to also start up their personal brands on the internet so that they too can also sell courses on the internet. Do you see the pyramid scheme here? But anyways, yeah, so this was uploaded about 3 weeks ago on Wes's channel, where he gets his mom on like his channel and like he's talking about stories about him growing up. This is a 41-year-old dude that got his mommy to come onto his channel and tell past stories about him and on how great he was or something. This is just cringe, okay?
I mean, you grew up in Point Loma, San Diego? Point Loma, San Diego. We're from San Diego, born and raised, right?
Yeah.
Where was I born?
You were born in San Diego.
Palmerado?
And then, yeah. And then we lived in San Marcos.
We live in San Marcos. That's where I went to. So I went to elementary in San Marcos, and then they went to Richland, which was in Oceanside for middle school, and then went to Vista High School.
So this man asked his mom on where he was born, and then he proceeds to spell out a bunch of information about what school he went to, like it fucking matters or something. Bro, you're 41, no one cares.
And then got kicked out early and went to secondary school.
Actually, it was Richland was elementary, Roosevelt was middle school.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Okay, so he's just lying, and then his mom just corrected it.
Beta!
Okay, so I'm just gonna skip all that yapping and I'm just gonna cut to here. So what Wes just said is that at like adolescent age, or you know, like when he was like a preteen or like a teenager, he was doing normal preteen and teenager stuff basically. Like, you know what I mean? Just going out partying, drinking, smoking some weed, you know what I mean? Doing the normal teenager shit, bro. That's the most normal shit in the world, bro. I swear this man is something special. Like that's a big deal or something. Like who gives a fuck?
And then my dad would come home and my brother, he'd have a bong or we'd be smoking. I think I'm 11, 12, 13 at the time. And like, you know, he's like, when I was 15 or something at the time before.
Yeah, that was pretty difficult.
So he was a little older. He was more of a problem. Like I remember when
alcoholic.
Yeah, he was an alcoholic and he ended up in prison.
Yeah, he did do time. He's not prison, jail.
Didn't he go to Chino though?
No, he just went to jail for 1 year. And yeah, we both.
I was pretty sure he just went to reception at Chino.
Oh, he might have done reception. Yeah, you might be.
Yeah, he did like a turnaround. He didn't make the main line, but he went to reception at Chino.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Because he's had so many DUIs or problems or something like that.
So many.
How often would he get picked up by the cops?
Constantly.
It was like every other day, right?
It was a revolving door. We were always happy he was in because we knew he was going to be alive.
See, they were happier when he was busted because they knew he was more safe than harming himself.
Did you think Ryan was going to live?
I didn't. When I got out of prison, I routinely see him on the steps of the IHOP in Poway, just face down in the middle of the day, on the steps in front of the IHOP, drunk and just blacked out. And you would see him in the street. He wouldn't even notice who you were. He was so bad at some point. Right?
I'm amazed that he turned his life around. He now he helps other drunks.
So he's doing better, and it's a good thing. I mean, what about my affinity for cars? What cars do you remember me having?
Yours, the Wescalade.
The Wescalade.
Dude. Okay, that was the one chance to show the human side of Wes Watson right there. It's just they both went on a tangent talking about his older brother being an alcoholic and like, you know, the troubles and problems that came with it. And then like he ends that tangent by talking about himself and the cars that he had from, you know, being a drug dealer and buying a Escalade and calling it the Wescalade. What I'm getting here is that when he was at a younger age, he was really trying to fit in. It just seems like he went down the wrong path and started hanging out with the wrong crowd, and like he's trying way too hard to like basically prove himself, like that he's, you know, some cool guy or like some cool tough guy.
You actually were a pro snowboarder.
They don't believe that. They don't.
Oh man, I could show you pictures. He was clearing trees. He was an insane snowboarder. I was actually pretty good myself. too.
When like this man was first making videos, he was acting like he came from the slums or something, like he was broke or something. Like they're skateboarding, they're snowboarding, they're leaving San Diego to travel to a snowy mountain, I assume, right, to do like some snowboarding and shit. You know, like he was a professional snowboarder. He claims to be like a pro snowboarder, and there's no pictures of it at all anywhere. And like he's constantly lying about everything, even his whole lifestyle. He rents out everything, even his girlfriend.
And they would spend their last money. Like, we didn't grow up with money. Some people think we grew up with money.
Trips. That was one of the only trips we took in Hawaii. We were middle class. Maybe
so you're saying that was the only trip?
She just said that you didn't have. So you were middle class. You're not lower class, but
no, it was probably Hawaii first, and
yeah, we went to Hawaii when we were like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Then we went to Colorado snowboarding once, me and you.
Yes.
Then where does the pro snowboarding come in then? You fucking liar.
People sometimes think I grew up with money. Money-wise, how did we grow up?
Yeah, we had hard times and we had good times.
Yeah, there was a stretch where my dad did good, and he was doing like $10,000-$20,000 a month with his construction.
So you grew up with money. Like, what are you talking about? Growing up with no money is like, you know, you grew up with no money. You never had a good period of time, ever. Like, what are you talking about?
How old do you think I was when I finally moved out, or when you started seeing my cars and everything was too, it was kind of crazy. I mean, because I went from a lifted Silverado to the Escalade. This was like right, you know, during the end of my high school time, and then I had a black Range Rover on black 24s, and then I had a white Range Rover on white 24s, and by then I lived in that little mini mansion in Encinitas, and I also lived downtown in that Harbor Club.
You had a couple nice places down.
All right, let me go ahead and just stop it right there, Wes. So there was this clip on a John Bravo video. He claims that all of that was just a lie. He was buying and selling a bunch of cars and all this other stuff. Oh yeah, I really had it like that. You know what I mean? And had, you know, was buying up like a bunch of properties and shit in California at like what, the age of 18 or something. Are we supposed to believe that?
Before prison, this asshole likes to go on interviews saying he was this big baller weed dealer, driving around in Escalades with 22, 23-inch rims, right? Which I don't even think they made 23-inch back then. But he goes around trying to say he was a millionaire back then before he even went to prison. But the fact is, he was a bum. He used to sleep on people's couches and run around town to pretend he was rich. Jesse on Fire, shout out to him. He just made a video exposing this because his wife was friends with girls that dated him.
But here's what I know. He lived with Gabrielle's friend prior to going to jail. I think it was maybe 18 months to 2 years before he went to jail. So clearly, well after he said he was driving Lamborghini doors and making 80 grand every 10 days. Okay, he didn't have money for rent. He did not pay for bills. He lived with her, and he lived with her two other friends that lived there before him. And then he had to move in with his girl because he didn't have money. And the two other girls hated him so much that they moved out. They're like, I didn't sign up to live with your dude who's totally crazy and is not contributing to bills. And so they left. Okay, so he ended up living with Gabrielle's friend. He didn't have money for bills. That's why he moved in with her. And that is it's just true, man. That is something that happened. I know this for 100% sure.
Every time that he's on an interview or some sort of podcast, he would always claim that he was making a ton of money or was like a millionaire before going into prison, which that doesn't really make any sense. Like, bro, from just selling weed? That doesn't make any sense. Most of the drug dealers that I grew up watching, they're either locked up or they're completely broke now. Like, what the fuck you talking about?
Even better, what do you think about some of my girlfriends and wives?
I mean, it's your choice. I like them all. What's not to love about every one of them?
What do you think happens?
I don't know.
You've been around.
Okay, well, he was beating on his first wife, and then the second one, I guess, was a stripper, and then now he's with a sugar baby that he's paying money for. That he's basically just renting his girlfriend now. Dude, this is just pathetic. This man lied about basically his entire life, trying to come off as a cool person to listen to on the internet, like some sort of all-knowing alpha male, and you have to pay him $7,000 for one of his courses. I can't believe that people actually fell for this shit, bro. He doesn't own any other businesses. I can't listen to this shit anymore, bro, because this shit is actually boring as fuck. Yeah, listen, if you want to continue on the dog pile, just go on to r/Wes Watson and watch that stuff, and I don't know what else to say, bro. Hopefully his business fails, because it's just, dude, who would spend money on that shit? $7,000 for one of his courses, bro, and then he fucking $30,000 for... spending $30,000 just to do a bunch of push-ups and I guess a quote-unquote network with people is just crazy to me. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you later.